Christmas is around the corner, so let's see if the forex market has any gifts for us. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Nick, and I'm a top author on TradingView with over 260k reputation points, and every day I share a lot of free education and analysis on this channel, so make sure that you subscribe, and I will see you on the chart. In today's video, I want to speak about BTC USD. Now, why do I want to speak about Bitcoin? Because at the moment, we really have quite interesting price action and structure. So first, I will be covering the technical aspect of this market. We will then go and see what we have from an order flow perspective by checking the on-chain data to see how Bitcoins are moving in and out of exchanges. And by the end of the video, by using the combination of these two different types of analysis, we will try to understand where we have the highest probabilities for a potential move here on BTC. And obviously, I will also give you my BTC price prediction. Now, starting here from the monthly time frame, what do we have? Now, here in the monthly, we have very interesting price action. We can see how we have started this cycle with a very strong impulse to the upside following the halving event that we had around this area, where the reward given to miners was basically cut in half. The market obviously created a move to the upside because of the supply shock that creates. And after that, we got the correction. Now, in general, when you have an impulse, if you want to measure the correction, you have to take your Fibonacci from the low to the high of the impulse. And if we do that, what we can see here is that we had a perfect 0.618 Fibonacci retracement. And the 0.618, the reason for which I have it in red is because it's basically the golden ratio. So the strongest Fibonacci level that usually the market goes and tests before then getting rejected to the upside. And in fact, that is exactly what the market did. The market tested precisely the 0.618 and then rejected the zone to the upside. Now, inside of this impulse, there is one candle which is not related to the move, which is exactly this red candle here, which is in fact the area that the market is currently testing. And as we're testing this area and starting to reject it to the upside, we can expect the market to provide a deeper rejection and possibly even the creation of new all-time highs, which, in my opinion, should definitely come at the beginning of next year. Dropping down on the weekly time frame, what do we have? Now here on the weekly, we can see how we have just created this M pattern here. We had the move to the upside, move back down, move up, and move down. Now, in general, after the creation of an M pattern, what you want to see is the market create a move to the upside to go and complete the pattern at the previous support, turn resistance. So from a pattern standpoint, we do expect this move to the upside and completion at the neckline. Now, there is one very important thing, however, that you must keep in mind. The structure here in the weekly is currently bearish, and this will be incredibly important for this market. Now, if you can't see that easily, what you can do is go down on a line chart. And by using this trick, it will be easy for you to identify that the market here is at the moment below this previous support turned resistance. We can see in fact how we have just tested right now this area and we are already rejecting it to the downside. In order for the market to create this move to the upside, we need to see a weekly close above this horizontal ray that we have just put here. And if we actually get a weekly close above this zone, that should definitely trigger the move to the upside, because at that point, also here on the weekly, we will have bullish structure, because at the moment, the structure on the weekly is still bearish until we will see a weekly close above this zone. Just a quick thing, make sure that you like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments below any suggestion for new videos. Dropping down on the daily, what do we see? Now here on the daily, we can see how precisely we have tested and immediately started to reject the weekly resistance to the downside. However, the structure that we have on the daily is bullish. In fact, here on the daily time frame, we are currently above previous daily resistance, which was obviously acting as resistance here, which the market has now broken to the upside, already retested, and currently we are already rejecting the area to the upside, which I hope will give this market the momentum that it needs to actually create the weekly close that I was speaking about just a few seconds ago. So it would be great to see this rejection to the upside, because in that case we would have the weekly close above the resistance in 3 days and 11 hours when this weekly candle will actually close. So this is a very important thing to actually follow. Now, if we go and see what we have from an on-chain perspective, so how Bitcoins are moving in and outside of exchanges, if we look at the last block, what we can notice. Now, what we can notice here is that during the move to the downside that the market created, now this black line here is obviously the move to the downside that we got, this move here. Now, in this move to the downside, the blue line continued dropping. Now, the blue line is the amount of Bitcoins on exchanges, and obviously that has been dropping. However, we just got this spike. Now, this spike is during this move to the upside, meaning that obviously we are getting selling pressure at this resistance. So once again, this is a very important level to continue to follow into a Christmas, obviously. So very important to keep this in mind, this weekly close in 3 days and 11 hours. Obviously, I don't like to see all this Bitcoins getting inside of exchanges. However, we are still, if we look at the big picture, we are still seeing record low amounts of Bitcoins on exchanges. You can see how the blue line has been dropping and dropping and dropping. At the moment, we are at new lows. So obviously there is big scarcity. The supply is very limited. So there is still the possibility, very likely actually in my opinion, to see a supply shock in the market actually to create the rejection to the upside that we want to see from a monthly and daily perspective. So just want to wait to see this weekly close above the resistance. Now, if the market will actually give us that weekly close, so we will actually create this move to the upside and break at this point above this daily high here, which if you remember is exactly where the market started the rejection of the weekly resistance. If we will get this move to the upside after the break on the retest of the previous resistance, which at that point will be turned support, this is where we have very interesting price action for a potential move to the upside. So with students, after the break on the retest inside of here, we will be monitoring price action from an intraday perspective, so 4 hour and lower, waiting for the market to shift from an intraday bearish market to an intraday bullish market. And if the market will shift from an intraday bearish to bullish market and provide to us one of our valid entries at that point, we would be looking for a potential long with a good risk to reward and good probabilities at that point for the move to the upside and for the market to print new all-time highs, obviously potentially. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you smash that like button and comment below. It really does support the creation of more free analysis, education, and updates for all of you. You can also go and check out the mentorship program. The link is in the description. It's a very complete program. You first get all the rules of my rule-based strategies, then you get a new daily market breakdown every single day showing you how to apply these strategies in real-time market, and you also get all your questions answered every single day in the daily Q&A session. So it's a very complete program. I suggest that you go and check it out. The link is in the description, and I will see you in it.